Hey everybody, my name is Sam.
And I'm Angela, and welcome to our channel.
What are we going to do today?
We are going to possibly go look at a camper and possibly bring it home.
Hey, so possibly stick around. Alright, we are down in the workshop right now, and what I want to do is drag out the weight distribution hitch we bought actually been about a month ago when we started down this journey of trying to find our own camper. We've had it, we haven't used it yet because we haven't got a camper, but we're hopeful today might be the day. So I need to drag it out from under my workbench and go ahead and start with assembly. I can't fully assemble it because so much of these weight distribution hitches have to be adjusted and fit exactly for the height of the item you're pulling, in our case a camper, and the vehicle's ride height. So I'm going to do what I can here inside the workshop, and the rest of this we will have to do out there wherever the camper is, assuming we get this one and all that kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and plop you guys down here on the workbench and lift this hitch up off the floor, which is super heavy. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm just going to pick the pieces up. Here's a look at the weight distribution hitch. We bought this from Harbor Freight. They seem to really have the best deal as far as price and still comparable quality for our area and what we could get when we needed to. We purchased this kind of last minute whenever we went and looked at one other camper that obviously didn't work out. We didn't have a weight distribution hitch for it, and we had to get one, so we stopped by Harbor Freight on the way out to look at this other camper. That one fell through, but we kept the hitch because we knew we would use it in the future. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and go through the instructions and see what I'm able to set up here inside the workshop. I think it's mostly going to be the rough assembly of the actual hitch part that goes in the vehicle, so the receiver, the bolts and pins, stuff like that, plus the actual hitch ball. In this case, this ball is a 2 5/16 inch ball. That's pretty standard for larger campers and trailers in the US, but that's kind of a squirrel segue moment. So we'll go ahead and dig into this instructions, see what I can get going, and show you guys when I get somewhere. Okay, I have this thing assembled pretty much as I can at this point without having the vehicle and the camper in the same spot. What we have here is the ball hitch, and these small little guys here are for sway control kits or sway bars. We have one of those. We'll put that on in a little while. Basically, you've got two holes. One is fixed, the other is elongated, and that allows you to have a certain range of motion. This tilt here, just like this. This is not to stay loose. It is to be tightened up and everything. But what that allows you to do is to compensate your angle from your vehicle's hitch to your trailer's tongue, and then drop it down for that 10 to 15 degree sweet spot. The way this is designed is your hitch will actually droop. Okay, these bars will actually droop a little bit. You put tension on them, it picks them up, and by forcing it back into a straight line, it helps to levelize and create a much more of a solid connection between your vehicle and your item you're towing, in our case a camper. So I don't yet know what angle I need or the spacing of this distance here, since we don't have the camper here with us right now, so I'm leaving it loose for now. When we get to the place and if we decide to buy the camper, we will use this pin and however many grade 8 washers we need. They give you all this, and this will slide into a small hole that's down here and space this off enough for me to pull this tight and then bolt it all down, lock it down super tight. So that's what that adjustment is for. There's also a bolt down here at the bottom center, and that's for tightening things down as well whenever you're all done and you have things adjusted. So for now, that's pretty much all I can do with this receiver hitch and everything of the sort. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and hook the chains up to the bars and make sure this hitch ball is tightened down really well, and then we'll open up the sway control kit and go ahead and mount the pieces to this hitch that we can. I'm also just making sure I have all the parts and pieces and tools that I need to connect this all together. I want to make sure I have everything I need right now while we're here at home still, and before we travel the about 2 hours to go look at this camper and hopefully buy it. that is not the time to find out that I'm missing, I don't know, a washer or something at that point. So consider this due diligence in making sure we have all the pieces we need before we hit the road. I'm attaching the chains to the bars at this point. They give you some U-bolts here and washers and nuts. They don't give any lock washers. So I found some in my hardware drawers. Yeah, buddy. I found some in my hardware drawer, and I'm going to be putting some lock washers on here just as an extra safety measure to make sure these things don't go anywhere. I would really like to have some lock nuts that go on here as well, but I don't have any, and we're in a little bit of a time crunch, so this should be fine. Obviously it's more than what the manufacturer gives you, but it's not exactly what I would love to do, I guess is what I'm getting at. Okay, I have tested everything. I got the bars hooked up. I have their chains in place. I doubled up the nuts as well as put lock washers in, so these are extra secure and tight. They are locked down good and properly. I got the chains put on. I tested the chains connection with these hooks, because with this weight distribution kit, one of the videos I saw on YouTube from a while back said that there may be an issue with the hooks fitting, so I made sure to check that. I've got my cotter pins in place, make sure they all work, these operate, everything looks good. I also took the bars and fit them into the receiver hitch, made sure they each locked in properly, the tabs and pins worked, and I could also release them. I do not have this greased up yet. I'll take my grease gun though. I don't want to make it really dirty and messy right now while I'm still tinkering with it and when I'm adjusting it out at the camper as well. But otherwise, I believe that's it. I've tested everything. I've got all of my wrenches plus extras. I've got the washers and pins, and yeah, this weight distribution set is ready to go, as good as I can do it now. Now we can move on to the sway control kit. So let's get that opened up and check it out. Okay, change of plans. My better half is done working in the soap shed for now, and she tells me it's time to move the dump truck so that we can get the Tahoe up, which is the vehicle we're borrowing from Angela's dad. That one is the towing machine, not the minivan. You don't want to tow the camper with the minivan?
The keys.
Oh. You're only here because you need stuff. There's your big old janitor set. Okay, so what she's gonna do is meet me down at the bottom of the hill with the Tahoe, because I'm going to drive beefing dump truck down to the bottom and get it out of the way. We're not sure if it'll fit. Angel's parents' camper did fit up here. This one that we're looking at is about 6 to 7 feet longer. So we're not sure if it will fit, but we want to get all the vehicles out of the way so that when we get it here, all assuming we're buying it, that we'll have the opportunity to try. So let's hop in the dump truck and take it for a drive. This should be a good cold start, proof of, oh, my steering wheel's gone. That's okay, I can stick it back up there really quickly. It's like a race car. You gotta put the steering wheel on after you get inside. All right, good enough. Pull the choke out. Switch on. 1, 2, 3. Choke back out. It's a real speed demon. We're in first gear high range. It's nice the 2-speed rear end's all fixed, so that's cool to use. And it's really hot in here because the windows are up. Somebody wants a dump truck. You gonna buy it? Hey dude, come buy the dump truck. Alright. I'll put this thing back out of the way as much as I can. Now this is really like a race car, like at a drag strip where they open the doors as they back up because it's too hot inside. I don't know what else to share. This is part of the fun we have out here in our world. We're just a bunch of fun people. And get it well out of the way in case we need to do any kind of finagling or parking or anything with this camper. I just want the dump truck out of the way totally. Looks good enough. All right, catch you later, dump truck. Let's go clean out a car next. All right, what's the plan, Stan?
We are going to clean out the vehicle. It's not been cleaned out in a little while, so we're going to do that and get it prepared for driving today.
Cool, sounds good. We'll be doing fluid checks and all that kind of stuff, taking extra oil, brake fluid, antifreeze, everything for any kind of roadside emergency that we can think of or handle. Sam usually packs and plans ahead, worst case scenario style. But I'm gonna let her work on this for a few minutes. I need to go make sure that sway bar control kit looks good, get it going, and then pack some more tool bags. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Here's a look at the sway bar that we have. If you don't know what these are for, these are to help keep your trailer or camper that you're towing from swaying or sashaying back and forth left to right. If you've ever hauled something and that happens to you, we're talking about a pucker factor of 25, just so you know. That's happened to us once. I was hauling a utility trailer and they had no weight distribution and they had no sway bar, and yeah, Sam won't ever do that again. This is the sway bar. Basically what you've got is a crank handle here that tightens down a plate, kind of like a brake shoe, and you've got another bar inside that slides back and forth. You hook it up to your camper or your vehicle. Well, okay, you hook it to both. Tighten this down, and it pretty much adds friction to the ability for the trailer to turn and sway by clamping this and forcing it to tightly go back and forth. It'll make more sense whenever we have it hooked up to the camper, but for this purpose right now, that's what this guy does. It comes with mounting hardware to put this on the camper and the hitch. The small little ball goes on our big receiver hitch for our distribution system, so that's what we're going to bolt up now. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait until we get there to see if the corresponding part, one second, this guy, we'll see if there are one of these on the camper's frame. Hopefully there is. I would love to be able to reuse it. If not, we will attach this to the camper's frame and then connect the two. It's basically two small little ball hitches that this bar and brake pad go between, and it just kind of makes it work harder for it to turn and extend or retract the control, sway bar control thing. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Alright, so on our weight distribution hitch, it comes with two mounting holes, one on the left, one on the right, for this guy to go. Most commonly, it's on the right side as you're looking towards the rear of the vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and mount it here. Comes with a lock washer and a hex nut. We'll just tighten it down and then go from there. That's about all we can do at this point here at the house, but this is at least one step that we won't have to do at someone else's property in who knows, unknown situations, grass, or I don't know. So the more we can do now, the better. I have amassed a toolbox and plethora of stuff, including a portable inflator in case the tires need topped off, gauges, tools of all sorts, plus assortments, cordless tools, rope, pliers, Swiss Army knife, literally Swiss Army knife, and everything else I can think of. So now it's time to go ahead and haul all this stuff up, pack it up in the vehicle, and honestly, just play a waiting game. We got 2 hours until we need to leave. So yeah, this is actually the worst part of this whole endeavor, is waiting to leave, waiting to hit the road. So The camper is about 2 and maybe half hours away from us. We're going to be traveling up into Virginia, so who knows? We might pass by your house. If we pass by your house, wave at us as we go by. We're going to be traveling on the interstate, so we'll go from North Carolina into Tennessee, and Tennessee into Virginia. So, all right, let's go load up, but we'll see you guys probably whenever we start to hit the road. All right, so I think we got everything packed and it's time for us to start heading out. I got a couple of copies of an RV bill of sale I printed offline. We'll get the seller to fill this out. As long as it gives us all the information and the title work, we'll do all that stuff. I got the GoPro, obviously, and the extra batteries, stuff like that. Got some drinks and wallet and cash, and we gotta go to the bank and get more cash. So otherwise, let me go get everybody inside and let's hit the road.
Hold on. We always make sure to bring our first aid kit, which is also a medicine kit as well, in case we should need anything. Not underneath my feet though. Ready to go?
Let's go. We got a long drive ahead.
Let's go.
Well, we have made it to our meet-up destination, about 2 hours down the road. Okay, up the interstate into 2 different states. We are now waiting in a parking lot at a local Hardee's for the guy to meet us here, and then we follow him. He said about 20 minutes to where the camper is. So now we wait. Yay! Angela took a nice nap for most of the ride, and the boys were watching something on their tablets, whatever. So it was the old reminiscence to our old road trips we used to do before we had kids, where Angela would pass out and I would just drive.
Yep.
Not too bad.
Well, we are are back in the car, and as you can see, we have a camper behind us. So I am very excited to get this home, and so we can show y'all what it looks like and get some cleaning done and exploring and just checking out our new camper. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm focusing on the road. I'm not looking anywhere but the road. Well, we are home, and as you can tell, there's a little more light in the world because, well, the sun's revolved around the other side of the world, and we're on the sunny side again.
Boy, you're making it difficult.
It's the next day. So we have a little story time, and I have a confession to make. Last night we pulled in about around 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was dark, super dark. And I come down our little road here doing about Mach 5, pulled in the driveway and got the camper stuck. Our driveway crosses a little creek and it has some steep drop-offs on the left and right side, and so a long time ago I put some large boulders on the edges to kind of keep us from running over those. Well, I did not swing wide enough and got the axles hung up on those boulders. It was a big situation because it's like 10 o'clock at night, the boys are beyond tired, so were we, and here we are with half a camper hanging out on the road and stuck. Like, Tahoe's in low range 4-wheel drive, not doing nothing but digging holes in the driveway, and stressed to the max. So, like has happened a lot in our past, the old Jeep came to the rescue. Angela jogs up the hill in the dark, gets the Jeep, brings it down. We hook it to the front of the Tahoe, and the Jeep, being all-wheel drive, just like pulled it out like nothing. And now, during the daytime, we can really see the aftermath and destruction, which so far we think is only to the earth and not the camper. But let me show you guys our little
dilemma
furrow we plowed in our driveway. So there is our little plow mark. We actually also still have boulders stuck under the axles. And when we saw that last night, I said, you know what, let's just park it, leave it here.
Nobody can get in or out.
Yeah, right. Which I guess, whatever, we didn't need to get out. So, yep, so we're here today. We have a bottle jack and some ideas and freshly sleeped heads. So we're going to figure out how to get this thing jacked up, get the boulders out from underneath it, to take it on up the driveway.
So my idea is we have scissor jacks that are attached to the back side of the camper. I think that would help to elevate it some, and then if we need to get a bottle jack underneath the axle, we can, to be able to lift the camper up further to be able to get the boulder out. We'll see what happens though.
Unfortunately, there's a big old rut.
Where did that come from?
A little bit of grade work here.
Oh, are you playing bulldozer?
Yep. The scissor jack on the back of the camper wasn't strong enough and really didn't give me much options for like putting the handle in better spots for leverage. So that has been nixed. I have a bottle jack right underneath the frame. I'm just going to pick the whole camper up right here. Wedge it back. There's a hole behind here we can pull it to. Let me try and push it in front. It feels like we're free of the axles.
Yeah, no, it's sitting in between the axles right now. It would still hit the back axle right now if we tried to drive over it though.
I know, I'm trying to push it back to the hole I've dug.
Okay.
Can you wedge it that way at all? Walk it back? Not right there. Ready?
Uh-huh. Okay. Where's my little shovel? No, honey, it's okay.
Almost there.
I don't know if it will or not.
I mean, it might spin. Let's see.
Storm be waiting. Yay!
Here's my baby. Sweet. Sweet. John. Just a little rock.
Just in time.
We got a There's a saying that comes to mind as we're standing in the rain and wind that's blowing through, trying to get our camper out stuck from our gravel driveway here. Making memories. Note to self, memories are being made. It's not a horrible time. It's memories. Made it just in time. Lots of four-letter words come to mind, like cool and rad with exclamation mark and fun with two N's. Well, we made it. The camper is free and we're in the Tahoe and we're just kind of catching our breath and enjoying the rain out there as we're in here. We've made it. This is our destination, our layover destination.
Right. We are up here, what we call Blueberry Hill. It's kind of the flat spot of the driveway, and that's where we've put the camper for now. We can plug up here and put water to it if we need to. And we're also going to be washing it and cleaning it out here where it's at.
Yep, this is the flat spot because it will not, camper plus vehicle will not make our last turn up to the house. Or we're afraid if it does, it'll be a nightmare to get out, and we just don't want to wreck it here at the last second. So
no.
Yep.
We've already paid for it by now.
Yeah, really. Overall, this camper is in extremely great shape. It doesn't need a whole lot of cleaning. Honestly, just, I mean, what are you planning on doing? Like dusting
Wiping it down.
Wiping it down. I'm going to run through all the systems, the plumbing, electrical, propane, mechanical, any kind of thing. Run through all that and check it. But that's going to be some fun for another video. I think we've had enough fun on this one. You guys got to see us go through the technical details of the weight distribution and getting the camper and digging it out, getting it home, and finally bringing it here to its layover destination before we take it to our property, which will be this weekend.
So we have a couple of days in between that we can go ahead and pack what we need to pack in it that isn't already in the other camper in Tennessee that we'll have to switch over when we get there, and just clean it out, because in the days of COVID that we are now, you do kind of want to wipe down all surfaces and that type thing. It has not been smoked in, it's not had any pets in it, so that is a big plus as well.
Yeah, any cleaning we do is going to be more for our tickle our fancy type thing rather than nastiness.
Very much so.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions or comments about what you saw in this video, leave them for us down below.
Otherwise, stay tuned next time as we take a look inside and get to cleaning. We'll see you guys next time on the homestead.
See ya.
Bye.